It is. It's very, very difficult times to navigate. So push-pull is actually what I wanted to kind of focus on today. I'm going to stick with the two basic premises from yoga, which is the underpinnings, the lifestyle, yamas and niyamas. And tapas, I talked briefly about, is that burning enthusiasm we have to become the highest, aspect of who we are. And then svadhyaya, which is self-study. So hopefully in this very brief, 5 to maybe 8 hours that we have together, those two things, you keep them on your radar for the week in terms of how do I, observe the habits that I have and the conditioning that I have and who I am right now. And, we're always hopefully growing and aspiring to become better versions of ourselves. And a lot of this is rooted in, very, very old techniques. And they've been updated, to apply to modern times. But there's always been a push-pull with yogis. Recognize that long, long ago. So a very, very quick kind of high overview of, where the teachings came from. Most people have heard of the Vedas. And the Vedas are some of the oldest. Veda means wisdom. And they come from campfire songs, basically. And when we were more nomadic and traveling, our ancestors would move a lot. They were herders, so they had to move with their herds to give them food, or the weather, just push them north or whatever. But at some point, we settled down, and that's when they would settle in the Indus Valley near water because it was much more convenient. But then that's when the wisdom kind of passed to the younger people. They wanted to be more merchant, and traders. That's when the caste system developed. And there were always forest dwellers who wanted to go back out and live in nature. And even now, I feel like we need to live in society. We have settled down into society for obvious reasons, for productivity, to have a better, consistent source of food. And within that, there's inherent challenges, to live in the world. And the forest dwellers at that time, which modern times you could call them yogis, they wanted to disengage from the world. Does this kind of make sense? And I know it's a very Twitter version. So in disengaging, that meant to go back out and live in very intimately with nature. Because there was a lot of wisdom to be found in nature. All of these Vedic songs were about union with forces that were bigger than us. Where does the rain come from? How does the sun shine? They wanted to learn more about the universe. How does the grass grow? The food that we take in, how do we take in that energy from that food? Where does it come from? What are the sources? Who am I? How did I get here? What's my purpose? All these really big questions were things that the nomadic people were struggling with. So in the 14th century, there was the first written big text that is referred to in yoga. It's called the Hatha Pradipika, or Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Pradipika means lamp, means to shine light on. And yoga always meant journey. So that's what these forest dwellers wanted, or our nomadic ancestors wanted, is to take this journey, to answer these really big questions in life, the questions that we all kind of struggle with. What's the right thing to do right now? Who's the most important one? Why am I here? What is my purpose? When's the right time to do something? So the Hatha Yoga Pradipika was to shine light and on this journey to help give us, wisdom and to tap into that intuition that we have inside, that our ancestors have learned from taking these journeys over and over and yielding with their higher self. So, again, this is a very quick little, Twitter version, if you will, of a rather complex subject. But would you say now, fast forward, that you have a fair amount of energy that is not going out into the world as it was pre-pandemic? Yes?
probably.
Yeah. So
Okay.
to harness that energy, what Swami Kripalu called it is like impulse control. And right now we have kind of the perfect environment because we are sort of sequestered. I mean, to Laura's point, Joni's point, you know, these kids want to go out and they want to get into the world, but the pandemic and other forces are forcing them to stay inside. So what do we do with all that energy and all this frustration? Um, and the yogis, the forest dwellers, have given us cairns in the forest through this, you know, Hatha Yoga Pradipika. So I just want to share, you know, and again, staying with tapas, you know, this discipline of burning enthusiasm to continue to strive to be the highest part of who we are. Svadhyaya, which is one of the basic tenets in yoga, is let's continue to learn more about, you know, us as a species and us as an individual. Um, and take a little inspiration this morning from the Pradipika. And there's only 4 chapters in the Pradipika. So the first one was all on lifestyle. The second one is on pranayam and breath, breathing. I really understood, again, I feel like this mini immersion, I wanted to include a lot of breath work because breath is such a huge piece of yoga that has been diminished somewhat, you know, in modern times. The third chapter is on mudras, and mudras are internal actions in your body that generate energy, and energy to connect to the universe, right? To help us to embrace that more subtle, large aspect of who we are. And then the fourth chapter is on meditation, you know, meld or merging with the one. So apana is energy that goes down and out into the world. Apana is like, you know, having a job, having a home, having children. It binds us to the world. Apana is down and out energy. The Hatha Yoga Pradipika was about seeing how this energy that goes down and out into the world, once we became settlers, once we became civilized beings and we had jobs and merchants and trading and money and status in the world and children to take care of. Can you see how all this is binding in the world? The forest dwellers, the yogis, they wanted to turn all that apana upside down. That's what prana is. Prana is upward rising energy to merge with the one, to merge with the universe. Can you see how both are really important?
Mm-hmm.
And Swami Kripalu said that all of yoga, especially from the Yoga Hatha Pradipika, the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, was about impulse control. So learning how to navigate in a wise way, with discernment, the challenges that we face in the world today. So the 2 passages that I just want to start with today is they're from the first chapter of the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and it says the 6 enemies. It's on the 6 enemies and the 6 friends. It says the 6 enemies of this journey is through overeating, overexertion, talkativeness, stubborn persistence regarding disciplines, the company of people, the fickleness of yoga is lost. And right now, all of that is a little bit been stripped away, yeah? And then the 6 friends of this journey of yoga and finding discernment is with enthusiasm, courage, perseverance, discrimination, unshakable faith, and abandonment of the company of people. Yoga is accomplished in the highest way. Kind of gives me chills. That was written in the 14th century. And so I hope that this little mini immersion is kind of tapped into some specks of merging with this larger thing that we are inside, and that we can go back out into the world. And that's when the apana and the prana, they come together, and it's just done in a more skillful way because there's an anchor there. I hope that makes sense a little bit.
Yes.
Great. So I'm going to stay with the belly pumping. Does anyone have any questions on that? feels, and again, if it doesn't feel right to you, just let it go. Good idea. I did not ask for the first few mornings to have a tissue, because I realized for Kapala bodies, sometimes it's good to not have you don't want to be blowing snot all over yourself. So a tissue might be helpful today. I'm going to stick with compress, decompress, and twist. And those actions, it's like movement in the world. We compress our body, we open our body up, and then we twist our body. So that's kind of the sequences I would have in mind. I think 2 blocks might be helpful if you have them, and perhaps a strap for just one thing, really, for the strap. If your hamstrings are really tight, a strap or a belt or something would be helpful. Okay, so let's harness some energy, and I'm going to touch base afterwards in terms of the fasting portion. I hope that this all makes sense now in terms of fasting, because the minimizing of food in your belly keeps the fire alive. And that fire can be used to, to generate moments of bliss. So let's come flat onto your back to start with freeing your belly of tension. And hopefully your belly is empty, which is why yoga is almost always practiced initially. The early yoga practiced at dawn, because you're still fasting from the night. So make sure you're comfortable once you lie on your back, and start to massage. Use your hands to massage your belly, especially all around the perimeter. So if you start at your rib cage, the base of your rib cage, and relax your belly so that you can kind of get your fingers underneath of your ribs a little bit and free up that tissue. Sometimes you can even grab your ribs and gently kind of pull. And sometimes if you've had a massage, you'll feel usually massage therapists asked if you want your belly massage. They'll do it, but most people don't want it because it feels a little too invasive. But if you've had a massage on your back, massage therapists will often grab your scapula, your shoulder blade, and they'll do exactly this. They'll kind of pull it apart because your scapula should be free and slide on your rib cage. And in a similar way, the tissue that attaches here to your ribs, you want that to be, certainly not knotted up. It should be soft and free. And then move along your waistline and just kind of, grab that tissue and massage it. Remember, we hold so much in your belly. So much resides there. And there tends to be a fair amount of locking down, like, we just hold tension. Tension is what happens in our body when we think things should be different than they actually are. When you can have a really loose and free belly, that means you just roll with everything. You just roll with the flow. Now, start to go down along your hip bones. So that's, again, the circumference of your belly on the front side of your body. And you kind of drive around with your thumbs or with your fingers and go along your pubic bone. And just free the tissue, that connective, tissue that attaches at bones. You just want to kind of massage it. You can use the bone and press up against it. And then that area between your pubic bone and your belly button, that is the most definitely the most darkest and mysterious area in your body. Massage all around there. Breathe deeply. Relax your face. Trust your body to release as it is ready to release any tensions. And then just above your belly button, start to make your way back up that center line. And that's the fibrous connective tissue at the front of your belly that basically envelops all of your internal organs. That's kind of where you're zipped up. It's your linea alba. Massage with your fingers all the way up to your sternum. And then let that go. Let your arms lower at your sides. Let your legs stretch out long if that's comfortable. And just feel your belly. Smooth breath. In and out through your nose. Remember, breathing through your nose, it conditions the air, prepares the air, it warms the air, delivers nitric oxide, which strengthens your immune system. Long, smooth breaths through your nose. Relax your throat. And start to breathe a little more deeply now in Dirga. Dirga breath. Dirga means deep. It means full. 3-part. The bottom of your lungs, the middle of your lungs, the top of your lungs. Exhale all the air out. That is very important. Create a vacuum as you empty your lungs completely. Don't be afraid to let go. And trust that the next breath will come. Fill yourself up. And we'll do 2 rounds of belly pumping. So empty your air completely. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And now exhale through your mouth. All the air out. Hold your air out. Press your spine to the floor and pump your belly. Pull your belly way up under your ribs and push it out. So now you're moving your belly with the strength inside your body. Not from the outside with your hands. Move your belly as much as you can. And when you need to breathe, let go of that action. Soften your body. No control of your breath. Let your body breathe. And remember, get maximal movement of your belly, okay? That stretch is going to create like a vacuum. Let's do it one more time. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Hold your breath out. Stabilize your spine against the floor and move your belly. Move it a lot. Move until you feel something. When you need to breathe, let go of the belly pumping and just breathe. And just feel there's like a residue, a little shadow of what you just did. And then bend your knees with your feet flat. Now compress your belly, bring both knees in and kind of tight to your belly. This is called Apanasana, wind relieving, the full wind relieving pose. As you pull your thighs in toward your belly, curl your head and shoulders up. Aim your nose toward your knees. It's a little bit like an upside down child's pose. Draw really tight, really tight. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale all the air out. Hold your breath out for a moment. And then stretch everything back out long. Lower your head. Reach your arms up overhead this time. Stretch your legs out nice and long. Circle through your wrists, your ankles, stretching your fingers. And then bring your arms above your chest. Catch hold of your elbows. Bend your knees with your feet flat. Separate your feet wider than your body. Let both knees roll to the right as you pull your elbows to the left. And then go the other way. Pull your elbows to the right. Let your knees fall to the left. And do this several times. You're rolling in opposite directions. Elbows one way, knees the other way. You can turn your head any way you like. Breathe deeply. Now bring your knees to point up. Take your elbows and circle them around and up overhead, off to one side, down toward your belly. And then reverse in the other direction. And then bring yourself back to center. Draw both knees in. You can either rock up or roll to your side to sit up tall. And let's find a seated position just for a round of Kapalabhati. Remember, Kapalabhati is both a cleansing technique, so if you need to blow your nose, go ahead and blow your nose. So it's also a cleansing technique as well as a way to build energy. Draw your spine, tailbone down. You find any comfortable seated position that works for you. Lengthen your spine a lot. Roll your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Make sure your throat feels open, relaxed, especially the root of your tongue and your jaw. And take a deep breath in. Hold your breath in. Stretch up while you hold in. I'm going to add today Mula Bandha. Engage your pelvic floor like you're cinching the muscles at your pelvic floor and feel everything pulling up and up and up and up. It's a continual pulling up, and then relax your pelvic floor, let go of your breath. And just breathe a couple of rounds of breath. Now let's take another deep breath in. Fill your lungs up completely. Exhale all the air out through your nose. Hold your breath out for a few moments and play with Mula Bandha. Engage your pelvic floor and pull it up. And keep pulling it up while you hold your breath out, and keep pulling it up. And when you need to breathe, let go of your pelvic floor and just breathe. These were mudras. These were internal actions, right? To explore the universe inside, to unlock tensions, to free our bodies so that we can move and feel, to open up all those tubes that I mentioned the other day. We're a bunch of channels. Now if it works for you, I'm going to layer that Mula Bandha with your Kapalabhati today. Keep your spine long, relax your shoulders, your neck, your jaw. Let's take a very deep breath in. And through your nose, begin. And remember that expulsion, it's really strong. It comes from your solar plexus, and your spine stays really still. And this is also a really fantastic way to strengthen your core muscles, because all of your respiratory muscles are very intricately involved with your core. So feel that expelling of the air rather deliberately and fully, and then let the inhale just come in passively. Do it a few more times and pick up your pace if you can. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth and curl your body up. When your breath is out, stretch your spine up long, hold your breath out, and pull your pelvic floor in and up. And keep cinching your pelvic floor while you hold your breath out. Stretch your spine up. When you need to breathe in, let go of your pelvic floor. Breathe in through your nose. Hold your breath in at the top and engage pelvic floor one more time. Remember, while you're holding your breath in, be soft in your shoulders and just be willing to feel. Feel as much as you can. There's a disturbance that will build. There's a hunger for air. Watch all of that. And when you need to breathe, let go of your pelvic floor, let go of your breath, and just let your body breathe. The pranayam was the key that unlocked the door. The pranayam is the thing that brought postures to life. Feel that residue. Let's reach your fingers to the side, touch the floor lightly, draw chin toward your chest. And as you inhale, stretch your arms out and up and over. Clasp your fingers as you exhale, round through your spine in a seated cat. As you inhale, rise back up, lift, lift, lift. And exhale, let your arms float down to your sides. Let's do that 2 more times. Big breath. Inhale, all arms up, fill your lungs up. Exhale, round through your spine, knuckles forward, shoulder blades apart. Inhale, lift again and open. Exhale, let your arms float down to your sides. Nice. And again, slow, deliberate breath. Inhale, the whole inhale to get up to the top. The whole exhale to round forward. A long inhale to rise again and really fill yourself up. And a long exhale to lower your arms to your sides. Now start to sway a little bit side to side. Lean into your hands. Let your head hang. Keep your hips anchored on the floor as you just lean side to side in a little bit of a lazy way. So your lower body is still and quiet, and your upper body just sort of sways side to side. And the next time you're over to the right side, pause there and hold. Walk your right fingers away far enough that your right shoulder is unshrugged and you can relax your head. Place your left fingers on your shoulder. Draw a circle with your left elbow. Let your head relax. Keep your hips anchored to the ground in a kind of a big circle, an interesting circle with your left elbow. And then reverse in the other direction. Breathe deeply. Use the Ujjayi sound. So that little constriction in your throat. Next time your left elbow is up toward the ceiling, reach your left arm up overhead at a long, high diagonal. Keep relaxing your right head. And then turn your torso a little toward the floor. So you twist closed, and then turn your torso toward the ceiling. Twist your belly open. Turn your belly and your ribs toward the floor. And turn your belly and your ribs open toward the ceiling. And then press off your right hand, come back up, pause in the middle, and just feel. Crawl your left fingertips out toward the left. Take support from your hand. Let your head relax, and be sure your left shoulder is feels relaxed. It's sliding down. Right hand, fingers on your right shoulder. Let your right hip anchor and circle your right elbow around. And with the short lever, instead of having your arm extended, can you feel a little more motion? Plus you're holding on to the head of your shoulder. Imagine if your hand was someone else's hand and they were holding your shoulder girdle and moving the shoulder girdle. So it's less about the elbow and the arm moving, it's go deeper, right? There's always, go for the more subtle, the unspoken, the less obvious. Reverse your circle in the other direction. Feel the shoulder girdle moving, shoulder blade, the head of the arm bone, your scapula, your scapula, which is that shoulder blade, your collarbone. That's what I was thinking, because that's where your shoulder blade attaches, your whole shoulder attaches to your torso. Next time the right arm is up in the air, hold it there, reach your right arm out long, and high diagonal until you feel a big sensation in the right side body. Turn your belly and your chest toward the floor, and then turn your belly and your chest toward the sky. Deep breathe. Roll one more time. Internal rotation toward the ground. External rotation toward the ceiling, toward the sky. And then come on back up and lower your arm. All right, let's take blanket out of the way. Come to seated feet out in front. And let your knees roll again side to side into a little windshield wiper. Take your feet kind of wide. Now you can keep your hands behind if you like that. Or you can let one arm kind of sweep around and come on a high diagonal again. So that moves through your shoulder. You can let it come low on the floor behind you. You can bring it around kind of shoulder height and let it swing. You can also roll up onto your shins. And that's what I'll suggest. If that works and you can press into one hand and roll up onto both knees, lift and press forward. Take it a few more times. Roll and lift. And really press your belly and your hip, belly up toward the ceiling, hips up. Take it one more time, both sides. Nice. And then make your way around into table, into all fours. Spreading your fingers wide, tuck your toes under, hover your knees just a little bit off of the floor and hold. And with your knees hovering, make sure you're connected to your low belly. So you feel a little bit of heat now. There's a co-contraction really of everything you own. Keep your neck relaxed and your breath smooth. Let's take 3 more deep breaths. Ujjayi sound. And slowly press your hips back towards your heels. Unfold into down dog. Pedal out a few times. Feeling length in the back of your legs. Press your hands straight down. Use the Ujjayi sound. Then come to stillness. Take a very deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower into plank. And then ride your plank a few times. Bend your knees, slide your hips back toward your heels, unfold into down dog, and then exhale, lower into plank. So it's like a little mini plank vinyasa. Bend your knees, hips back toward your heels, unfold into down dog. The exhale brings you forward into plank. Inhale presses you back toward your heels. Exhale unfolds you into down dog. Hold there for an inhale to find length. Exhale, pull forward to feel strength. Inhale to reach back, keeping your spine long. Exhale to unfold, hold. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower into plank. Inhale, press hips toward heels. Exhale, unfold. Hold here, take a very deep breath in. Out through your mouth. Hold your breath out, pump your belly. Again, usually a little easier upside down to feel your belly coming high up under your ribs. When you need to breathe, let go of the belly pumping and lower both knees straight down toward the ground. Reach your right leg straight out back, lift your chin and your tail. As you exhale, pull the right knee in. Inhale, press back, exhale, pull in. And go through this kind of strong pumping action. Feel opening and closing. The inhale takes it back, the exhale pulls it in. If you can go a little more briskly, let that happen. And dump the air out through your mouth. 3 more. Bring the foot all the way up between your hands for lunge. And press down through the back of the top foot, or the top of the back foot. And then lift into knee down warrior, Anjaneyasana. Nice. Take a few deep breaths here. Feel nice and open. Press your hips forward. Lift your chest a lot. Take 1 more full breath. And then as you exhale, a little mini vinyasa here. Hands will come down. Tuck your back toes under. Lift the back knee. Fold over your front thigh. So we're moving out of this a few times, just connecting the movements together. As you inhale, come forward into lunge. Exhale, lower the back knee. Inhale, rise out and up into knee down warrior. And then exhale, land your hands. Inhale, lift your back knee and fold over your front thigh. Exhale to lower the back knee. Inhale to lift up into knee down warrior. Long breath out to land your hands. Long breath in to lift your back knee and fold over your front thigh. And just keep breathing deeply as you lower the back knee, rising up into your knee down warrior. Land your hands, belly on your front thigh. Belly stays on your front thigh as you lift the back knee and fold. Do that one more time. Lower the back knee. Lift into your knee down warrior. Land your hands softly. Lift the back knee and fold over your front thigh. Stay right there. So your back heel's probably lifted. That's fine. Reach the back heel for the floor though. Keep pressing it toward the floor. Lengthen your belly on your front thigh. Take a little side bend. Walk your fingers to the right. Crawl your left fingertips out as far as you can. And relax your head. Take a very deep breath in. And empty your lungs completely. Come back to center, bend your front knee, press back to down dog, hips up high. Take a very deep breath in. Use the exhale to come forward into plank. Hold your plank 5 breaths. Now you can lower your knees if you need to. Keep pushing the floor away. Nice. Press the back of your heart up to the sky. Well done. Keep your back of your neck long, low belly between your pubic bone and your belly button. Feel that area. It's strong. Pull energy up. Take one more breath. Softly lower both knees. Inhale the left leg straight out back. Lift your chin. Exhale, pull your knee in toward your nose. Inhale, press back. Exhale, pull in. Feel opening and close. It's open and close. Get the knee to come as close to your belly as you can. And then use that hotter exhale if that works. Move some air. Pumping air in and out of your lungs. Pick up the pace if you can. Make it vigorous. Feel vigorous and centered. And bring the foot all the way up between your hands for lunge. Let your hips sink. Anchor the top of the back foot. Rise into knee down warrior. Really feel that your shoulder blades, your 2 big hands in your knee down warrior, pressing your chest out and up toward like a high diagonal across the room. And then as you exhale, land your hands, bow over your front thigh, tuck the back toes to lift your back knee, and lengthen along your front leg. So let's move in and out of this a few times. Lower the back knee. Lift your arms into knee down warrior. The inhale helps you here. Your exhale helps you to land your hands. And then the inhale to lift and lengthen over the front leg. Exhale, lower the back knee. Inhale to lift up, knee down warrior. Use the exhale to softly land your hands. Use the inhale to lift your hips high and fold over your front thigh. Exhale to sink down into the lunge. Inhale to rise out and up. Exhale to land your hands. Inhale to lift your hips and fold. Nice, one more time. Exhale to land your knee. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to fold slowly over. And this inhale, you lift your hips and stay right there. So keep reaching for the floor with your back heel. Keep reaching for your front foot with the crown of your head. So you're working to lengthen your spine, lengthen your belly over that front thigh. Walk your hands to the left. So your right fingertips crawl way out. Relax your head. And breathe into everything you feel. Use your breath, really as it's like journeying, right? You're on a journey to explore the sensation, to find new sensations, to explore subtle sensations. Nice. And then make your way back to center. Bend your front knee. Press back to down dog, hips up. Now separate your feet about as wide as the mat. Walk your hands back in a tight dog. And then, so your hands and feet are flat.
Even if you have to bend your knees, get your hands and your feet flat, and they're about as wide as the mat, so you're making kind of a square. You're going to twist your down dog, bring your right hand underneath to the outside of your left ankle, and pull, look under your left armpit. Nice. These are beautiful. Sitting bones are high. You're using your left hand to kind of push a little bit, so you don't want to be too heavy in your feet. You still have your left hand down there. Push with your left hand to get your hips to reach back, and then pull with your right hand to twist a little deeper. And then let's switch. Put your right hand on the floor. Reach your left hand underneath and grab the outside of the right ankle or your calf, whatever you can reach. Keep your feet flat. Push with your right hand while you pull with your left hand. Breathe as you look under your right armpit. Take one more full breath. Nice. And then release and unwind. Come back to center. Walk forward into down dog where you started. Bring your feet a little more together. Actually, all the way together. Bring your big toe knuckles to touch. Extend your right leg straight back and up, three-legged dog. Now flex your right foot strong. Without twisting, press your right heel straight back. Push with your hands to keep pressing, and reaching and finding a long line. Ujjayi breath. Feel the strength in your right glute to keep lifting that leg in line with your body. And then bring your right foot all the way up between your hands for lunge. Lower your left heel flat to the floor for warrior two. Reach your left arm forward, around and up for the side warrior. Nice. So as you sink deep into the lunge, spread, reaching your arms wide, look forward over your front middle finger. Now feel from your tailbone to the crown of your head, you have a long vertical line. A long vertical line. Flip your front palm, the right palm faces up. Wrap your left arm behind your back and reach your right arm straight up in the air. Exalted warrior. So now that line, from your vertical line, from your right middle finger, straight down to your tailbone. Straight down. Take one more full breath. Nice. Now slow motion, windmill your hands around to either side of your front foot. Lift your back heel and press back to three-legged dog. Again, right leg straight up. That same leg goes straight up. Bend your right knee. We're going to twist this time. Look under your left armpit and find your foot. Reach the right knee super high. Wave to yourself with your right foot. Circle the ankle. Breathe deeply. Nice. And then bring your right knee into your right wrist for pigeon. Lay your right shin down, slide your left leg back, lift your chest, open up into top of the left foot can go down, and lift. You're in a little bit of a back bend. Keep pulling your chest forward. Now let your hips sink low. And we're going to do a little push-pull. So with your right hand, pull isometrically. Suction cup your right hand to the floor and push. Push your right hand away from you. So it's almost like your right hand is trying to stretch your mat longer. And with your left hand, pull. So you're trying to kind of pull your left hip forward and push your right hip back. Now add to that, drive your right shin into the ground, really strong, like you're pushing your right shin, more firmly into the ground. Pull your chest forward, take a very deep breath in, out through your mouth, pump your belly. And when you need to breathe, relax everything and lower into a little reclining pigeon. Let your head relax on your hands. Let your body just drape and sink over the front thigh.
climb back up onto your hands. Tuck your back toes under. Walk the back knee in a little bit. Get your shoulders over your wrists. Lift your back knee. Use your core body to pick up your front thigh and hold. Tighten it up to your belly. Bring it tighter. Stay in that pigeon position and just try to pull it tight to your belly. One more breath. And then step back to down dog. Pedal out, shift, wag, anything that feels yummy there before we do the other side. And then come to stillness, bring your feet together, stretch your left leg way back and up. Flex your foot strong, Ujjayi breath. Reach that leg pretty willfully. It's like you're trying to make space in your hip socket. So you're reaching the leg as if, imagine if I had hold of your ankle and I gave you a little traction, which always feels so good when a massage therapist does that, right? At the end of the massage, they grab your feet, your ankles, and they give you a little pull. Reach that willfully, like someone's pulling your leg out of your hip socket. Take one more deep breath. And then pull your knee tight to your belly, compress, and step it up between your hands. Lower your right heel flat to the floor for side warrior. Right arm reaches around and up and lift. Nice. Well done, Linda. Breathe deeply. Left knee's bent. Left toes forward. Right foot's turned in a little bit. Vertical spine. Vertical spine. Long arms. Reach out through, forward and back as if you're trying to touch the front wall and the back wall simultaneously, but keep your shoulders relaxed. Now flip your left palm, wrap your right arm behind your back, left arm goes straight up in the air. So now from your left fingertips to your tailbone, another vertical line. Sink deep into your legs, but reach up, up, up through your left arm, Ujjayi breath. Nice. In a slow motion windmill, bring your arms around to either side of your front foot. Lift your back heel. Drive the left leg straight back and up into that three-legged dog. And then let it twist. Bend your left knee. Your heel falls towards your bum. Look under your right arm. Try to find your foot. It's back there somewhere. Make sure the right leg is not twisted. Right, so the right leg stays neutral, vertical. You're trying to lift the left knee as high as you can. Feel the strength in your glute to keep lifting that left knee high. Take one more full breath. And then move into Echapata Raja Kapotasana, the pigeon pose. Left knee to left wrist. Lay the shin down. Walk your right leg back. Let your hips sink low. Keep your hips square. Top of the right heel or the right heel points straight up. Top of the right foot is down. Palms suction cup to the floor. Pull with your right hand. So you, like a little tree frog, you suction cup your hand and you pull like you're wrinkling up your mat on that side. And then with your left hand, push like you're stretching your mat. So sometimes that helps you to feel the right hip coming forward, the left hip moving back. Now drive your left shin into the ground. Push down pretty firmly. Pull your chest forward, Ujjayi breath. Make some sound. Hold all of those actions, right? All of that internal engagement and move your breath. Now, if you like, one time, deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, pump your belly. And when you need to breathe, let go of the belly pumping, lower onto your elbows, be very soft and just relax in your pigeon.
Now roll to your left hip. Keep your strap close by for this one. Bring your legs around in front so you have a seat and your strap is close by. Lower onto your back. Bring your right knee in close to your belly. Flex both feet strong. Hover your left leg a little bit off of the floor. Reach the left leg really long. Keep drawing your right thigh close to your belly. Curl your head and shoulders up. Look toward your center. Now make sure all your toes are pointing straight up and you're reaching your left leg as long as you possibly can. You're hugging the right thigh as tightly as you can. Easy throat, easy neck. Release your hands. Keep the right thigh close to your belly though, and hover your arms just above the height of your hips. 5 Ujjayi breaths. It's called wind relieving posture. Uddara Karshanasana. Keep or Pavana Muktasana rather. Hug the right thigh tight, tight, tight. Reach the left leg long. Take one more full breath. And then softly let everything go except for the right knee. It stays in. Grab your strap. Wrap it around the bottom of your right foot. Stretch your right leg up in the air. Now with your right hand, hook your thumb in your right hip crease and move your right hip away from you. So usually when the leg is up in the air, the hip wants to wink. It kind of wants to come towards you. Move it away from you. And then open your right arm wide to the side, palm up. Guide your right leg across your body. Keep standing in the strap. Turn your head to the right as you twist your lower body to the left. Keep pressing out through your left heel. And your choice, you can let your hips roll. There's a lot to explore there. You can also keep your hip down and pull the leg across your body. That's a beautiful thing. Or let your hips roll. It goes a little more into a spinal rotation. Now keep standing in the strap, pretty strong. You push your foot into that strap. Keep reaching your right hip away from you to make your right waistline long. Relax your shoulder, the right shoulder especially, into the ground. Take one more full breath. Stand in the strap to come back up. Push through the right foot. Use your waistline to bring the leg up. Give your strap to your right hand. Open the right leg wide to the right side. And open your left arm to the left. Now pull your right foot up toward your ear. The leg is straight. You're still standing in the strap. Press out through your left heel a lot. Drive through the left heel. Pull the right leg high. Take 2 more slow breaths. Relax your face. And then bring your leg back up to center. Take your strap off. Slide the right leg out long. Pause, hands on your belly for a moment. And just feel. Bring your left knee in close to your belly. This is half wind relieving pose. Hug your thigh tight to your belly. Really want to feel that compression. Unless it causes pinching in your hip, and that might be too much. But as best you can, pull the belly toward thigh, thigh toward belly. Float the right leg off the floor. And curl your head and shoulders up. Now if that's too much for your neck, keep your head and shoulders down. Your hands can help you to lift, right? Work to relax your neck and your throat. Spread your toes, Ujjayi breath. Make some sound. And you're gazing right down the center of your body. So you want your left knee points toward your left temple, basically on your head. Now if it's available, don't use your arms. You can hover your arms just above your hips. Take 5 more full breaths. And you got to hold everything here, the pulling in tight of that left thigh, whether you're using your hands or not. The reaching out of the right leg. The lifting of your head and shoulders. And you're still trying to have ease in your face, your neck. And then slowly Lower everything except for the left knee. Wrap your strap around your bottom of your, actually the ball of your left foot, the wide part of your left foot. Give the strap both ends to your right hand. Open your left arm to the side. Actually, maybe first use that little self-assist. Put your thumb in your left hip, move your left hip away from you, and then pull your left leg across your body. Now if you like the IT stretch, you keep your hip down. If you want to go more for the spinal rotation, let your hip roll. Just stay really long in your spine. Nice. And if you don't have a strap, you could probably hold your hand, hold your big toe. Yeah. Let's take one more deep breath. Stand in the strap to come back up to center. Keep reaching out, out, out through that leg. Pass the strap over to your left hand. Open your right arm to the right and bring the left leg way open. And it's not only open to the side, but the strap allows a little handle for you to pull the leg up towards you a little bit more. And as you do that, keep reaching the right heel away. Soft shoulders, smooth breath. Nice. And then bring the strap back up to center. Take it off of your foot. And we're going to basically take those postures to a standing position. Bring your knees in. Either rock up to seated or roll to your side to come to seated. Roll over your ankles. Come back to table, into all fours. Spread fingers, hands under shoulders, tuck your toes, hover in your table. Hold for 5 breaths. Keep pushing the ground away. Press the back of your heart up to the sky. Your knees are hovering off the floor. Low belly is strong. Breath is steady. Your low back has the natural curve. Press your hips back towards your heels. Unfold into down dog and breathe. With as few steps as possible, walk your feet up to your hands, forward fold, and empty your lungs. As you inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold your belly to your thighs. Reverse swan dive, soar out, up, open, little back bend. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. 3 rounds of sun breath, fixing your pants, fix your shirt. Inhale, rise out and up and open. A very long spine to exhale and fold forward. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold tighter, belly to thighs. Reverse swan dive, soar out, up, open, little back bend. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Again. Inhale, gather up. Exhale, reach out to fold over, move some air. Inhale, lift and lengthen, create some space there. Exhale, fold tighter into that space. Open your arms wide, drive through your heels. Out to come up, little back bend. Exhale, hands to your heart. One more time. Deep breath in as you soar up and gather. Empty and let go as you fold over with a long spine. Rise again halfway, create some space there, open up the hip joint and then fold tighter. Open wide as you press through your heels, soar out, up, hold your back bend. Point your index fingers straight up, clasp your fingers, press your hips a little bit forward, lift your chest, easy neck. Take 3 more deep breaths there. Ujjayi sound. And then come back up tall and bring your hands to your heart. Now take a round again with stepping back. This time inhale, sweep out and up, gather. As you exhale, swan dive and fold. Step your right leg back. Lower your right foot flat to the floor. And then sweep your right arm around and up into triangle pose. So your right heel's down, your right foot's probably at about a 30 to 45 degree angle. Left toes forward, straight, strong legs. Lengthen your left arm or reach the left arm as far forward as you can and tip over into triangle posture. Nice. Now roll your belly and your top arm open toward the sky. Take 3 more deep breaths. And then reach with your right arm to come all the way back up. Reverse triangle, let your right arm go down your back leg, left arm straight up in the air. So that nice vertical line again. Now windmill around, hands to either side of your front foot. Bend the front knee a little bit. Lift your back heel and hop the back foot in so it's flat. So this is pyramid pose. This is where your blocks might come in handy if you have them. Fold your belly over your front thigh. Anchor your back heel. And really bow over your front thigh. Which you might have to bend your front knee a little bit in order to make that, that compression happen. Now, walk your fingers a little bit forward, lift your chest, bend your front knee, shift your body weight to your front foot, lift your back heel or your back leg. The back heel points straight up. So you can have, your blocks on the highest position here, so your chest is lifted a little bit, or you could be on fingerprints. But you're opening up your hip joint. Keep pressing back strong through your right heel. And now, close the hip joint, fold into a standing split. So belly on your front thigh, lift that right leg super high. Take 1 more full breath. And then softly lower the back foot where it started into pyramid. Lift your spine. And again, blocks might be helpful. Right hand under your shoulder, left hand on your left hip, twist. Open the left arm up. Now lengthen your spine as much as you can in your twist. So this is twisted pyramid. You can also keep your left hand on your hip and point that left elbow straight up in the air. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. And then exhale, hands come down to either side of your front foot. Hop your back leg back into lunge. And then step back into down dog, hips up high. Take a very deep breath in. Exhale, lower into plank. Hold your plank. 3 Ujjayi breaths, really strong breaths. Feel your glutes. Feel your low belly, inner thighs. And slow motion, lower all the way down to the ground. Now with your belly on the ground, lift your head and shoulders into cobra, and then exhale and lower. And we're going to ride your cobra several times here. Feel your back muscles, lift your head and shoulders, your hips rooted down, and then exhale and lower. Your legs are nice and long. 1 more time like this. Inhale and rise, and then exhale to lower. And I'd like to add an external twist. So if this works for you, slide your right knee around on the floor and then lift and look over your right shoulder. Okay, kind of pressing a little more with your right hand. Slide the right leg back, lower your head and shoulders. And then do it on the other side. Your left knee comes around to the side, you lift, press a little more with your left hand, and then lower, slide the left leg back. 1 more time, both sides. Right knee slides around. Lift head and shoulders. Press a little more with your right hand to look over that shoulder. Slide your right leg back. Lower your head and shoulders. Left side. Knee comes around. Lift, twist, look over the left shoulder. And then slide your left leg back and lower. Pause for a few breaths. Let your head rest on your hands. And let go, let go, let go. No control at all from you. Breathe deeply. Nice. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Press up to table. Tuck your toes, hips to heels. Unfold into down dog. Feet together. Sweep your right leg nice and high. As you exhale, bring your right foot up to your right pinky finger and then push it right back, three-legged dog. As you exhale, bring the right foot up between your hands and hold. So you're in your high lunge. Lower your left foot flat to the floor. This is for triangle on the other side. Left arm comes out and up and open. Nice. Good transitioning there, Linda. Breathing deeply. Both legs straight and strong. Right toes forward. Left toes turned in slightly. Slide your right arm way out, and then tip over into triangle. Nice. Remember, there's a little bit of a twisting in triangle, so gazing up toward your top thumb, if that feels cool in your neck, let that happen because your spine follows your eyes. So as you gaze up, your belly and your chest will roll open. Now, can you keep that opening of chest and belly rolling up as you look down toward the floor? So you feel all that push-pull, right? You're being pulled in many, many directions. Be with it. And then press through your feet to come all the way up. Reverse triangle. Right arm goes straight up. Left hand drops down your back leg. Nice. Breathe deeply. Long, smooth breaths in the background. Regardless of what's happening in the poses, the sensation, you're just witnessing it with breath. And now windmill your hands around, soft landing to either side of your front foot. Lift your back heel and hop that back foot in just a little bit to get it flat. So this is pyramid pose. First, walk your fingers a little forward, lengthen your spine, and then fold your belly tightly to your front thigh. And then we can use your blocks again if that's helpful for you. But feel the compression right as you lengthen along the front leg. Keep the back heel planted. Breathe deeply. And what does it feel like if you try to square your hips a little bit more? Like you're trying to pull the right hip back, just like we did in pigeon. You pull in the right hip back and pull in the left hip forward. Take one more breath. This will open us up here. Lift your head and shoulders. Walk your fingers a little forward. Transfer body weight to the front foot. Lift the back leg. So initially you're opening up your hip joint, walking your fingers forward. This is kind of warrior 3 preparation with your fingers on blocks or fingers on the floor. But your hip joint is open, still square to the floor. Reach the left heel back. Now sandwich, standing split. Belly closes to your front thigh. Left leg might go a smidgen higher. Take one more full breath. And then softly lower the back foot back into pyramid pose where it started. Toes are forward. Left hand stays under your shoulder. Right hand to your right hip. Twist to the right. You can open the right arm up if that feels okay. Breathe deeply. Nice. Take one more full breath. And then hand comes down onto your shoulders. Hop the left foot back into lunge where it started. And then step back to down dog, hips up high. Find the natural curve in your low back. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out and hold your breath out. Pump your belly. And really try to roll it now. Things are a little warmer. Roll it for as long as you can. When you need to breathe, breathe in. And then lower through your plank all the way down to the floor. Now this is kind of twisted locust. So open your arms. I'm going to do the V version. Open your arms overhead, kind of in a large V, just as similar to what you would have for warrior pose. Turn your head to the right so that turn your head to the left so your right cheek is on the floor. Separate your feet about as wide as the mat. So you look like a big X. Your arms are out in an X, your legs are, open about as wide as the mat. Keep your arms pressing down into the ground. Lift your left leg. And then lift your left hip and roll. Reach your left leg on a high diagonal across the room so that you're looking to the left. You still have your left arm anchored firmly to the ground. And you're reaching the left leg back on a diagonal as far away from the left hand as you can. Let's take one more deep breath. And then unwind and come back to center. Turn your head the other way. And as you look toward the right, your left cheek is on the floor. Arms stay out long, feet are about as wide as your mat. Lift the right leg. And you could stay right there. That's perfect. It's hip extension. If you want to add the twist, you lift your hip and roll and reach your right leg way across the room on a high diagonal. Take one more deep breath. And then come back to center. I want to do that one more time. Let's see what it feels like with arms in T. So bring your arms out wide in T, palms face down. Turn your head to the left. Let your right cheek, rest on the floor. And your legs, actually this time let's come a little closer together. So bring your big toes to touch if that feels okay. So now you're working from a narrow stance. Lift your left leg really high and then roll and reach way back behind you now. You're still trying to create as much distance from your left fingers to your left toes as you possibly can. And you're definitely in a little bit, it's hip extension, so you want to feel your glute. Feel the back of your body, feel the twisting, and just be willing to feel it. Breathe deeply. And then unwind, come back to center, let the left leg lower. Turn your head the other way. So you let your left cheek rest, lift your right leg up, and roll and reach it across your body. Nice reaching. And play with the height. Beautiful. Nice, Linda. Play with the height. Yeah, there you go, Joni. Take one more full breath. And then make your way back to center, lower, hands under your forehead, and just relax. Let's bring your hands under your shoulders, press up into table, into all fours. Circle your hips all around your knees. And go ahead and reverse your circles. And then come up tall into kneeling. And step your right foot out to the side in line with your left knee. This is for gate pose. Anchor your right foot pretty strong to the floor. Right forearm in your hip crease, left arm up next to your ear. Now your right foot, it doesn't need to be pointed forward. If that doesn't feel good to you, maybe point it out a little bit on a diagonal, but find a place where you can press your right foot pretty firmly into the ground. So you don't want to be like on your inner edge. You want the whole foot planted. Lift up, out of your left knee and over toward the right.
So you're standing strong out of the left knee. Let your right forearm help you to drop the right hip crease down. Take one more full breath. Nice. Now come back up tall. Open arms in the T position again. Find your wingspan. Keep your arms right in line with your shoulders as you tip your body away from your right leg. And breathe. So you have this long straight line from your right foot all the way out through the crown of your head. This is kneeling star. Now shift so much that you lift your right heel off of the floor and then lift your right toe, big toe, off of the floor. And balance. Nice. That's a little teeter-totter. And then tip over, oh so slowly, catch with your left hand directly under your left shoulder, and you're in side plank. Lift that right leg in line with your body, reach the right arm overhead, reach longer, create space on the right side. Bring that space to the front side, reach your right hand back, catch hold of your ankle, side kneeling half bow. Kick your toes way back, way back. Keep that foot back there. Let go with your hand. Find your big toes. Put your big toes together. Open your belly and your arm up toward the sky. Open the right knee up to the sky. Press your hips forward. Let your head relax. Open the right arm. And then come back to side plank. Reach the right leg long. Push off of your left hand. Come up where you started. Oh. Lower both hands to the floor. Weave your left arm underneath. Thread the needle. Land your left shoulder on the mat. Walk your right hand forward. And breathe. If your shoulder doesn't land, lower both elbows and just stay centered. It's a beautiful thing. Let's take one more deep breath. And then bring your right hand in if you're twisted. Press up to both hands. Bring your right knee back in. Lift up tall into kneeling. Nice. And we'll go on the other side. Left foot steps out. This is for gate posture, Parigustasana. So let your left forearm or your hand sit right there where your thigh plugs into your hip. Usually when that left leg is out there, it does that hip winking thing. I'm going to drop the hip down so your spine is vertical. It's a pretty intense stretch, your sensation in your inner thigh. Find a place where you can plant your foot and there's no strain on the inside of your knee. Right arm up in the air. Lateral flex up and over toward your left. Stand strong out of the right knee. So there's a tendency to kind of drift away from the intensity. You know, we tend to sink our hips back. It'd be better to come out of the side bend, drive your hips forward, and then move into the side bend. Nice. Breathe deeply. Keep standing out of the right knee. Take one more full breath. Now come back up tall. Open arms wide to the side. In T, tip over and to balancing star. Let your arms be wide. Lift your left heel so it's less body weight on the left foot. And you really are just working on standing out of the right knee. And find your center. A little balance. Nice. Now gracefully tip over and catch so softly with your right hand under your shoulder. Lift your left leg, reach your left arm way overhead. It's kind of a modified side plank. Keep standing out of the right knee pretty strong. Open this up a little bit more. Bend your left knee. Reach your hand behind. Catch hold of your foot. If you can't quite catch it, keep reaching toward it. So you're kicking your toes back, kicking your fingers back. Roll your belly, open toward the sky. Stay in that shape. Let go of your foot. Put your two big toe knuckles together. And then like a book, open your left knee, open your left arm. Press your hips forward. Take one more full breath, Nini. It's beautiful.
Come back to your side plank where you started. Stretch the left leg out long and then push off of your right hand. Tip all the way up. Bring both hands forward on the floor in front of you. Long spine. So your hands are under your shoulders. Open your right arm up and twist. Reach it through the hole and land your shoulder. And again, maybe it lands on this side, different side of the body. If it doesn't land, lower both elbows and stay right there. Long breath. Then press into your left hand, unwind, bring your left knee back in, and have a seat in hero's pose, sitting on your heels. And if that doesn't feel good, by all means find something that does. Sometimes if you do have your blocks, you could sit on your block between your feet. Okay. You could sit between your feet. Nice, Steph. So that's the full hero. You could have a sit on your bum in Sukhasana where we were earlier. Find your sitting bones low and lift your spine up. Relax your shoulders. Soft belly. Now pick a hand, either hand, and curl your first two fingers into your palm. So your first finger and your middle finger kind of curl in toward your palm. Your pinky finger and your ring finger stay together. And then you use your thumb and your ring finger on either nostril. And if you're like, what did she just say? Don't worry about it. Use any hand. But I'm going to reach up and close off your right nostril. And then breathe only through your left. And take several rounds there through just your left nostril. Make sure your body's comfortable in your seated position, because you can't really arrive for your pranayam if your body's not supported and comfortable, and then your spine can lift. Make sure your spine is long, your body's comfortable, and now switch. Close off the left nostril and breathe only through the right. This is called Nadi Shodhana, the alternate nostril breath. And then switch again. Close your right nostril and take 2 full breaths through your left. And the next time you inhale through the left nostril, pause, hold your breath for a moment, switch, close off the left nostril, take 2 full breaths through the right, exhaling, and then inhaling, and then exhaling, and then inhaling, and hold at the top of the inhale, and then switch again. Close your right nostril, exhale through the left, inhale through the left, and switch. Exhale through your right, inhale through your right, switch, exhaling, inhaling, and switch. And continue that a few more times. The pattern is always exhale, inhale, and then switch. Take your time and really immerse yourself in the residual, that's inside from the postures. In this particular pranayam, which is more of a channeling pranayam, it helps us to integrate. It moves us to a parasympathetic state where you rest and digest. You'll find that as you practice it, Nadi Shodhana almost naturally turns into what's called Analom Vilom, where you hold your breath in
for a little longer every time you switch. It almost, not that you want to force that, but you'll find that it feels almost natural, like there's a little lull at the top before you switch nostrils, where it kind of invites you just to that still point. I'm going to take one more round. And the next time you exhale through your right nostril, let that go. And just kind of feel how it lands. And as you're ready, you can stay here, for more. Remember, in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika that I mentioned, there are really only 14 postures, and all of them are seated on the ground. They were meant to feel connection with the earth and a place where we could merge with spirit. So if you feel like you want to stay in your seated meditation, you are totally welcome to do that. If you want to transition to Shavasana for just a few minutes of final relaxation, lying down on your back, by all means do that. In Shavasana, if you choose to do that, make sure your body feels supported and comfortable. Use any props that help you to feel supported. In either place, whether you're seated or supine, let go of the control of breath and immerse yourself really in stillness, in being breathed, in being held, in the flow of aliveness. I'm going to close our practice today with thoughts on tapas and svadhyaya. This is from Donna Farhi from the 10 Living Principles of the Yamas and Niyamas. She says tapas, or burning enthusiasm, is literally translated as fire or heat. Tapas is the disciplined use of our energy. And because the word discipline has such a negative connotation of self-coercion, I like to take the liberty here of translating this central precept as burning enthusiasm. When we can generate an attitude of burning ardor, the strength of our convictions generates a momentum that carries us forward. We all know how a seemingly boring or unpleasant task, like cleaning the house, can be transformed when we work with vigor and impulsion. Suddenly, cleaning the toilet becomes fun. Hauling heavy loads, invigorating, and dusting the furniture can be all-absorbing. You see, tapas is a way of directing our energy, like a focused beam of light cutting through the dark. Tapas keeps us on track so that we don't waste our time and energy on superfluous or trivial matters. When this energy is strong, so are the processes of transmutation and metamorphism. Now, on the subject of self-study, or svadhyaya, any activity that cultivates self-reflective consciousness can be considered svadhyaya. The soul tends to be lured by those activities that will best illuminate it. But because people are so different in their proclivities, one person may be drawn to write, while another will discover herself through painting or athletics. Another person may come to know themselves through mastering an instrument or through service in hospice. And still another may learn hidden aspects of himself through the practice of meditation. The form that this self-study takes is inconsequential. Whatever the practice, as long as there is an intention to know yourself through it and the commitment to see the process through, almost any activity becomes an opportunity for learning about yourself. Svadhyaya means staying with the process through thick and thin, because it's usually when the going gets rough that we have the greatest opportunity to learn who we are. And I think, as a whole, our society, the going's going to be rough for a little while. And the invitation is to learn more about who we are, how we move, how we feel, how we think, how we grow, how we struggle, how we love, how we can turn apana, the down and out energy, into the world, into prana, to reconnect with the highest aspect of who we are individually and who we are collectively. It's so exciting. Let's take a slow, deep breath in and let it fall out of your mouth. And then take your time to move from stillness over to one side, or wiggling and moving in any way that feels good to you, to come back up to seated, just to close together. Once you root down, lengthen your spine if you haven't already. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Remember, this is a universal sign and gesture that's been used through millennia of honor, respect, adoration. Draw your thumbs toward your heart toward your thumbs, and nod your head to honor yourself for carving time out of your week, your life, space out of your home, right? To dive inside with a sense of curiosity and a willingness to explore everything, all the mystery inside. How the universe inside our body mirrors the universe outside. So I thank you for showing up and shining bright. Namaste.